and asking questions. Okay, so today I had to figure out your whole name because I didn't know your last name, and it's quite complicated.
Oh, it is a little bit.
How old are you, Megan?
I'm 33.
33. And what kind of cell phone do you have? Make and model.
iPhone 6.
Everybody's got a 6. I'm so out of touch.
What do you have? Oh,
5S.
5S.
How technologically savvy are you, would you say, on the scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not at all, 5 being an expert?
4.
And how many hours a week would you say you spend at the dog park?
At the dog park?
Any dog parks.
Does that include beaches or not?
Yeah, that's the dog park.
Oh geez. 7 times 14 hours plus.
7 to 14.
No,
Oh.
I would say 14.
Oh, 14. Yeah, that's probably what I'd say as well.
At a minimum.
Depending on how lazy Stella's feeling.
Right.
She's quite lazy lately. I think she's really feeling her age.
Oh yeah, 6, right?
She's 6, so I don't know. Just all of a sudden the energy has dipped.
Crazy.
So what I'm going to have you do is go through this however you would see fit. I'm going to try not to give you any hints whatsoever.
Okay.
And just keep track of, pretty much how you do it, right?
Okay, so, and that includes, like, if I sign in, like, what's that process with signing in?
It's just your choice. You can sign up kind of using Facebook, you can sign up using your email and other information, or you can sign in with nothing at all. But hold on, don't do anything yet. Just because I have to tell you what you are supposed to do. And I need a new color pen.
I might have green.
Oh, I have a bunch. I just, I forgot to print out one of these, which is kind of where I keep track of, like, where you hit snags and stuff like that. Okay, so the first thing I need you to do is to sign up, find the park that you visit the most, your home park, and connect with another user. And while you're doing this, you can kind of talk out loud about anything you notice about the design, about what you're trying to do. All that is great. So, begin.
Okay.
So all this is dummy. Like, you don't have to type anything in.
I don't have to?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically showing what kind of information you'd be expected to give.
Okay. And then you give your dog's information too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. What's add play? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that just kind of shows, like, how someone might fill it out.
Right.
What you're looking for in your dog park.
That's cool. Can I? Well, oh, it's okay. So it won't actually let me do it.
Right. Yeah. You just kind of get an example of what you would be doing.
Okay. And then, home park. Okay, cool.
So you would, like, I'm not allowing people to find their home park here, but that's pretty much where you can do it.
It is clear that it says home park.
Yeah. But I want you to do it another way.
You want me to do it here?
You'll do it after you sign up. So once you're done signing up.
Except for I just already messed it up.
Oh no, that's okay. You're at the home page now. So basically, did you go through the congratulations message? You can just hit back on the regular browser if you feel like you missed anything.
Okay, hang on. Okay. So then next.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay. And you want me to, what was the next step?
Okay, so you're done signing up. You've gotten that. So what you want to do is find your home park. So you started out at the map. Why'd you go from the map to the parks?
Because when you say find your home park, I guess map is the first thing that you think about.
Okay. I mean, you're on the right track. That's where I want you to go, but you can find your home park a number of ways, so it's really up to you.
Okay.
For
Oh,
this,
so
we're
you're
going to
saying-
say, like, is it clear that that's your location? See, like, the little arrow with the circles around it?
That's clear.
Okay, so basically I'm saying your home park is the one that's closest to you.
Right.
So if you...
I guess so. Yes, that does look clear. What I would expect from a map would be for it to be not as zoomed in.
Okay.
So then you realize that there's multiple parks around you. You know, maybe.
So
Okay.
you're in the right place. Let's say that the closest park to you is your home
Ooh,
park.
there. Ooh, that was cool. Hi, Stell. Okay. So I can add my park. Park added.
Done. Perfect. So that's the second part. You've done that.
Okay.
So we're saying that that's your home park because it's
Got it.
right next door, right?
Yes.
And then you want to connect it with another user from that park from here.
Okay. Okay. With another user.
So you can say like, oh, I recognize someone from here, but since it's your first time, you wouldn't really have a pack because you
Right.
haven't added any friends yet. So you're basically needing to add someone
Right.
from your park.
Okay. What if, just a suggestion or thoughts, if you don't have a pack yet, there was like some sort of listing that says start your pack or that took you straight to your home park?
Cool. I do have that. I just don't have it programmed to go.
Good, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking for dogs in my home park. Okay, and here is my home park, right? Here's my home park.
Oh.
Add more to my favorites.
Okay. So. If you go back to your park on the map,
Yes. Add park. Or go here.
yeah, try that.
Okay.
And then say, oh, I know somebody.
Hank. Mary Jo. I know you. Reply. Shouldn't this be add? Boom.
Different.
Oh, these are conversations. Wait, how do I go back?
If you can always just hit back on the browser and it'll go back to the previous screen.
So in that, come on, you're so sensitive.
I know.
I guess I could do that. Okay. So then do I get to, oh, I do. And so these are all conversations. Do I get to join my pack?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And go ahead and tap it again. So you're basically sending like a friend request. And if they accept, then you can direct message them.
Oh.
So once you're connected with someone, that would just say send message. You can send a message directly to them, and then the reply buttons change color, which means that you're connected to that person.
I like that.
So that was great. You're done with the task. You just got a little lost there at the end. Clear. So I'll just ask you a few questions about that task.
Okay.
How would you typically sign up for a service like Alpha Dogs? Would you use Facebook? You use the full
Personally,
sign
I
up?
would use email.
You would use email? Okay, great. Do you think that between email and Facebook and screw it, I'll just go on as a guest are enough options? Like a lot of sites use like Gmail and Twitter and all that stuff.
I think yes, only because I only use email. I
You
mean,
only
and
do.
if it says join through Gmail, I have recently been using that more often. But I also I feel like it's a option that I've seen more often recently than like, I don't know if that's important to you or not. But
Yeah, no, I kind of want to get an idea of just what options I should be giving people. And
yeah.
most people say email or Facebook. I just started signing up using Gmail too.
Yeah.
Or Google Plus or whatever
Right.
it is. Because I'm always plugged into Chrome.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it just makes things easier.
Yeah.
How many dog parks would you say you would consider checking on a regular basis?
4.
4. And how
5.
4 to 5. That 4 to 5 is fine. And how often would you say that you would check in with the site on a regular basis? Wait, is that wrong? How often would you check into your local dog park? So, 1 being never and 5 being daily.
So do you get to see, you're talking specifically through the app?
Yes, so like you know how you added your home park. How often would you go to kind of see what's happening at your home park?
Do I get to see notifications?
You'll see more. You didn't. All you got
Okay.
to see is kind of like people
Right.
posting about it and whatnot. But you'll
Yeah.
see what more information you can get about the park.
So notifications are pretty big on my phone. Like, and I usually don't check up on things until I get a notification.
So would you say that you'd need notifications to prompt you to look it up?
Yes, unless there is like, so within your options it says like dog food or trainers, and if I'm looking for something real specific, then I would say that would probably be one of the first places to go.
Okay. What was the most useful information you gained from going through task 1?
I think the map was good. Especially if in the future it shows like all of the options, or like restaurants, dog friendly restaurants would be awesome.
So, I mean, hypothetically, you would be able to pinch and zoom and shift
Yeah.
the map around
Right,
and
right,
see
right,
more
right.
parks. And if you go to the home page, just tap on the logo there, and swipe between pack activity and park activity. So pack is kind of one-on-one. Park
Ooh.
is for the parks, and then if you go one more,
Cool.
you can see all the parks that I've mapped out at a glance.
See?
So
All right.
orange markers indicate that there is new activity. Gray markers mean that there is no activity.
Cool.
So that's kind of your city as a glance. I'm only doing, I think it's like 11 dog parks for the project, but
Yeah.
there's like 30
Really?
plus parks.
I like your icons.
The restaurants. A couple of people have mentioned like restaurants and doggy services. So as far as signing up, finding your home park, and figuring out how to connect with users, did you feel that anything was missing? Like you definitely got lost, and I think you said that the roster was missing, which I do have. Like you may know these people.
Right.
Anything else you would think of that could help you get through that initial kind of sign up find your park and find your friend process?
What if there was like after you go through the sign up, it automatically pulls the closest one and just pops up and says, would would this be your home park?
Okay, so basically what I have to do is I have to add that in, because I do have that, but I only hooked it up for the people who go in through Facebook, right? So because you're not picking your home park from that park drop down in the sign up,
Right.
they'll say whatever, great, don't post for me.
Right.
And then, boom, based on your location, your friends,
Yes.
we think your home park would be Alamo Square. So you
Yeah.
can add it here.
Cool.
Or say no thanks. But I'm assuming that most people are during the sign up are going to be like, all right, my home park's on this list. I'll just pick it right now.
Right.
Okay, great. So that was good. We're going to do another task.
Okay.
The second task would be to come to the site, you're already signed up hypothetically, and just check in and see, check in with your pack. So kind of find all the ways that you could get in touch with someone,
Okay.
which you've already kind of started to figure out, which is great. So go ahead and hit the,
Sorry.
just the home button and start from there.
Okay. So this is my home back.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good picture. And then well, how come it says map?
Oh, that is just a symptom of not being able to program the screens. So
Okay.
I have another person's pack goes through the map. Map function. So the navigation doesn't toggle like it would if it were programmed.
Okay. Okay, so I just went to. Okay, I'll do it again. I went to my pack, and then I'll say, "Hey, my pack posts,"
Cool.
and I'd be like, "Ooh, where can I get some Chardonnay with my dog?" And I'd be like, "Hey there, Stell."
And you'd reply, perfect.
Boom. Perfect.
I think the close button will close that out.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, so that's one way is to reply to a post. So what if you wanted to tell someone something that wasn't associated with... Perfect.
It's Estella, but it's Harlow. Hi, Harlow.
So boom, there you go. You can send someone a direct message.
Yeah.
And then if you were going to the park and you wanted to let everyone know, what would you do?
Go to my posts, and then I'm assuming this is like your dog parks page.
Perfect.
Can't
So
help
on the new post, you can categorize whatever you're trying to tell people,
it. Okay.
and it just goes up to your post, and then once you do it, everyone in your pack can see that post.
So what if it? I know this seems really, maybe. I kind of feel like it needs to say your dog park somewhere on here. Or your pack. Oh, it's your pack. Okay, I get it now. I get it. So these are just everyone you're connected to. They can have their own park associated with them.
Yeah, and you can have multiple parks. If you go back to the new post walkthrough. So if you hit new post,
Oh.
that's all right.
Oh. Posts. There? New post.
So on the map if you're doing
Got
a new
it.
post and it doesn't happen to be at your dog park, you can pin it on the map.
Got it.
But if you don't pin it, then it's not really associated with a park. It's just for your pack,
Got it.
right? And
Yes.
then sometimes you, and then it all depends on where you add a post from, because you can add a post from the park page or from your posts. So if you add a post from the park page, then it's automatically associated with that park.
Got it.
Cool?
Yes.
All right. That was a good question. Thank you. All right. So you got through that pretty seamlessly. I have a few questions. What would be your main method of checking in with your dog park friends? And you can say, I wouldn't even use this. I'd just call them on the phone or text message them. But here I gave you kind of the post reply system and the direct message system.
I think for mass posts, probably I would go to the park page or messages. Maybe not for direct.
Direct, you'd probably...
Unless it started a conversation. I personally probably wouldn't start a conversation within unless I didn't already have that person's phone number.
Okay. So direct messages, you'd probably text them, right? Text. Okay. Would you consider using that message system over traditional methods like text messaging, email, or phone calls? I think we just established that you wouldn't. If you were an Alpha Dogs user, how likely would you be to use the messaging system, 1 being never, 5 being daily?
So does that include
The whole shebang, kind of what you all just went through.
I would say 2 to 3.
Okay.
Like if also another place, what I would also see, well, maybe this you have another area for this, but like updates from possible dog pet stores with like a news feed with like updates on promotions or something like that. If there's something you could check in, like dog days.
Events.
Yeah, events. Thank you. It's a hard word to come up with.
No, this is great. Like a bunch of people have said that kind of thing. Like, you know, would you include like dog walkers or pet stores, or what if someone wanted to have a meetup and the kind of advertising pay to play? I would think about later. But as far as events and stuff, like you can categorize any post as an event.
Oh.
Your whole pack will see it.
Got it.
You could say like meeting up at the beach.
Got it.
This afternoon we're gonna barbecue afterward.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes, I definitely have the like yappy hour in mind.
For sure. Yes. Then that would absolutely, I would definitely check it.
Cool. What method would you use to gather information about what's going on at the dog park? And I realize that this question is kind of premature because it's kind of solved in the next one. So from here, would you check in with your pack, or would you use the map to see what's going on at your dog park?
I would check in with my pack.
Okay. And when do you feel that it would be necessary to do that? Like before you go to the park, after, when you're just chilling?
Before.
Before.
And I'd also check after if there was a big dog fight.
The juicy gossip. Nice. Okay, we got one more task.
Okay.
And so this next task, go ahead and tap the home button,
Okay.
just so we're starting from 0, is to, basically what I want you to do is think about this like you don't know of a dog park that has a beach, but find a new dog park that has a beach, get directions to that park because you've never been there, and then once you're there, check in.
Okay. So personally, I would go to the map
Okay.
and then I would look around for water. And my closest point to that. But that doesn't look like it does that. Right?
Right. Just not for what I want people to
Right.
learn, but
Okay. So then
you could do it that way.
Okay. So then I would go like this. So for why can't I click on it?
Basically, just because I don't want you to. But you would be able
Ooh,
to
and I can go to
normally.
Fort Funston. Okay, yeah.
Right. So you got the pictures there as kind of an
Yes.
indicator.
Right.
But say you're from out of town and you want to search for a park
okay.
with a beach. There you go. That's as much hints as you're going to
Beach.
get.
Click.
Okay, so say you want we want to learn more about one of those.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, I make you go to Fort Funston. But this is essentially like the park page where you can get all the information, so you can scroll through.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oops, that's okay. Step back.
So sensitive. Okay.
You can see who's there, you can see the features, you can see who's posting about it.
So do you have to
add a
check
post.
in to be there, or does it log you?
There's two ways. One is manual, and this way is manual because you're out of town, right? And then I'll show you how else it's done. But
Okay.
basically what you've done, you found the park for
And
your
now I want
beach.
directions.
Get directions. Ooh, that link is broken. Go ahead and close that. But that's the check-in.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, or I could go map it probably. Or
Yes, that link is just broken. So I gotta make a note. Fix. Park page. Okay, so pretty much what you've done what I asked. Like you wanted directions. All that does is take you to Google Maps with like a pre-filled out directions from your location.
Okay.
Then you go back, then you check in what you just did.
Okay.
And so let's just say for shits and giggles that you know someone who's there and you want to tell them that you're here.
Who's here? Okay, I know someone who is there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Hi,
There you go.
I'm here.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So yeah, you just see like, oh, I know Jackson. I'm gonna send him a message and be like, hey, let's meet up.
Hey, Jackson.
So in question about check-ins, so if you tap on like the user information,
This part?
yeah, and go to my info, you can see that there's automatic check-ins, which is all through geolocation.
Oh.
So if you happen to, have location services turned on for your web browser, then you can get automatically checked in when your phone is near a park.
That's cool.
But if you turn that off, then you have to do it manually.
Got it.
So my thinking was just like someone from out of town isn't going to automatically check in because they're never
Right.
at the dog park.
This looks really good.
Yeah, I would hope so. I've been working on it forever. Okay, so a few questions and then we'll get your overall thoughts.
Okay.
Where would you go to find a new SF dog park? And I think you went to the map right away, right?
Yes.
Which you would be able to do. The homepage map is zoomed out, so that gives you an idea of what.
What is this little guy? Filter.
Go ahead and tap it, so you can see what kind of
Oh.
updates you're getting on your map. And then there was a park filter too if you go to dog parks. How do you typically hear about new dog parks?
Just word of mouth, I think. You know what would be awesome? To add, like, trails.
Trails, yeah.
Like
I-
hikes
I-
and stuff.
I'm not. If you go to dog parks and tap on the filter. Oh yeah, that's broken. I redid this last night pretty late. So anyway, what I have on the filter for the parks is kind of like with the updates on the map in that you can search by parks that have a beach, that have hiking, that have
Okay.
stuff like that. So I think trails might fall
Fall
under
into that, yeah.
The trouble is like, which Allie brought up, is that there are so many places where people can bring their dogs that aren't official dog parks. So I wonder how much I really want to push the envelope on that. Like if I'm going to piss
Right.
park rangers off or
Right.
hikers or bikers or whatever
And
it
then
is.
maybe even legally they could be, like, tracked down.
Right.
that individual could be.
Because originally I wanted to give people the ability to add parks. But I was like, if everyone's kind of like adding a new park, it might get kind of like chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that makes
that's great
sense.
feedback. Once hiking.
Or maybe there's like info, like a submit a dog park or trail, and then it can be like confirmed as like a legal area. I know that's a little probably far down the road. And also, I kind of feel like filter gets lost down here. I feel like it should be like next to the search,
Okay.
or in this bar. The distance top rated in my parks.
I might change that. Like, ideally, it would be sticky. So as you scrolled, it would just
That
stay
makes
right
sense.
there.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so how likely would you be to rate or post about your visit to the dog parks?
So I
One
definitely
being not at all, five being very likely.
probably 2. I would definitely search it more than I post. I'm not a poster. I shouldn't even have Facebook.
Me neither.
Unless it was like something I was like, everybody needs to do this.
Right, but really, for me, it kind of just all depends on the importance of what you're doing, right? So,
Right.
like, during, like, you know, the mundane mornings when people are more walking their dogs than going to the park, there wouldn't be a lot of posts. But in the afternoon, you know, when you know there's going to be people there, you might need it for certain things. Like
Right.
Gus. Like, if he has trouble with another dog, you could
Yeah.
always post or at least go look and
See.
see who's there.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, I'm going to go to Christie Beach because so-and-so's at Moscone.
Right. True. I definitely look into it that way.
Are you interested? How interested are you in discovering new dog parks? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not at all and 5 being very.
I would say 5, 4 or 5.
Full 5. And would you consider the opinions, posts, and ratings of other Alpha Dogs users when researching new dog parks?
Yeah.
Yes. Kind of like Yelp. Mm-hmm. Is there any other place you kind of look for user reviews other than Yelp?
Amazon?
Amazon. And what, when you kind of look at user reviews, do you take into consideration? Do you like take into how much they post or what they say, their star rating? What do you look at?
On Yelp, I do look at how many star ratings they give out. Because if it's like if it's a really opinionated post, then and it seems to weigh in on the rest of the posts, then I'll look at that particular user, and then I can I gauge them, like, okay, you're just crazy, and you wanna, and kind of decipher that way, and then that's on Yelp. On Amazon, I don't really look at their profiles. I think I kind of just like take it, because there's usually so many. I just like read the highest ranked and the lowest ranked.
Great. Now, I know some of those links aren't working, but feel free to thumb through it while I just ask you generic questions. What was your overall impression of the site?
Awesome. It looks really good.
Like the design? Mm-hmm. Do you think all the features are there that you'd be looking for?
I want to see your like little tab list again.
Tab list of
The when you sign in, and it says, "Oh, what are you looking for?" Like like dog food. Oh, these things, these icons.
Oh, okay.
Like, I like fetching. This is a good place to do it.
So the features list, I guess that's what I would say.
Features list. Does it come up again?
List. I guess you could change it. I think if you go to My Dogs,
and then
those are, yeah, like if you hit the edit
got
button,
it.
then you could go back to it. Would you use this site?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not at all, 5 being all the time.
I would say 3.
3. And which feature do you think is most useful?
I think I like the map. I like seeing the map. I like maps. And being able to kind of like explore more parks. That would be really cool. I feel like that would be something that I would do to like get ideas to do for like a weekend event. Like, oh, let's try out this park instead.
If you go to the homepage map, I think I built in a couple of links that you can kind of just see what sort of information. So
I forget which one.
go to the home and then slide between park activity and
that's
pack
right.
activity.
Yeah,
Recent.
like
so if you
this.
tap on 2 of those, I think you can just be like, okay,
Oh.
there's something's going.
Yeah.
Someone posted about the park, but I'm not connected to them, and then the other one is like when someone you're connected to does post.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's like the at a glance, and then obviously those would be there in the zoomable map as well.
So what's the homepage like? Okay. So this is the homepage.
You just kind of get a glance. You can glance between your pack and your park and the map, and then if you tap on one of those in the navigation, you get more. I guess power over. You get more information and more ways to kind of get information about the parks, your pack, and the map.
Okay.
Are any features missing? And you talked about one kind of like doggy vendors, promotions, events.
Can I ask a quick question? We'll have
Yeah,
to come
of
back to
course.
that real quick. So park activity are only parks I am like added on to.
It's all parks. It's just whatever's the newest. So if at this
Okay.
moment someone made a post about Alta Plaza
Got
Park
it.
most recently,
Got it.
but if it happened to be Lafayette Park, then that would be at the top. It's all just
Okay.
filtered by newest.
So then when I come here, it says, okay, Alta, and I click X out. It takes me back to map. It doesn't take me back to parks.
Go ahead and hit it. Okay, yeah, that's just again, that's like a flaw
Okay.
of my prototype. Pretty much, if you tap on it, like this means that it's an overlay, right?
Okay.
So this would just layer up on whatever you're looking at, and the close button would bring you to the previous page you
Got it.
visited. So maybe that's. I think I can fix that. Overlays.
I almost wanted to say like my pack, but I think that can be resolved because when you open it and you're like a fresh slate, you won't have a pack yet, right? Mm-hmm. And no, like I guess going into it already having this stuff filled out, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, like gauge where it's at. So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, features.
So we talked about doggy vendors, promotions, events. You wanted notifications.
Yes.
And how would you like those delivered?
Like
it
a
could
badge, you mean?
It could be a badge, it could be an email, it could be a text message. Like I'm not doing a native app right now, but people who want like you have to have a native app for notifications. So if that's something I'm going to explore down the road, I just would want to know. Because it can get overwhelming too.
Right. I think I would do I
Just
would
the
want a
badge.
badge. I don't like getting email notifications.
I don't like email or text
Yeah.
or SMS. I like badge too. Okay.
And then if there was like a slot, like up here or on here,
Yeah,
on,
see, I
on your
think
little guy that said, boop.
I think at least for a web app, you can do that because you can show, it's just new information coming at you.
What's this? Oh, that's a dog tag. Cute.
Okay, and so how would you rate the overall difficulty of navigating through the site?
I think it's fairly straightforward after you go through it, and I think
On a
where I got a scale.
Yeah, I just have to quantify some of these answers.
Let's see.
So 1 being difficult, 5 being easy.
I would say, well, it's difficult to say that only because I would say 4 now that I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
If I opened it up as a blank slate, I would probably say like 4 or 5. You know
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much the feedback that I'm getting is that, it takes a minute, but once you've gone
Right.
through it, it's not hard at all.
That's what I mean, like as far as like opening up as a blank slate. If I didn't see all these like already, conversations happening, then because I'm like, oh, that's a lot of information, trying to gauge what it is first. So
Right.
that's
Yeah, so as a newcomer,
Yeah.
you'd have that pack activity header, but
Right.
all those divs would be empty, so you just see
Yes.
the picture.
and even if it said like add to your pack.
Right, there'd be a button being
Yeah.
like, let's grow your pack, see who else you
Totally.
know. Wait, I just wanted to show you that
Yeah.
page, because you did mention that as well. I added like 5 pages last night, so when I do that, it does get screwy.
Ooh yeah, I like using email.
Right. So then this would kind of be like, if you sign up through Facebook, it would be like find people I think it's find your pack or something like that. Then you come to this screen. Sweet.
Awesome.
So just one more thing. I did like a list of features.
Yeah.
Can you go through that and like mark like what would be your top 5?
Okay.
And then we are all done. I don't have a no drink policy by my computer.
You don't?
No. I pretty much drink and eat at that desk.
I do too, but I did have a
Did you
job
do a
where
spill?
I spilled it all over a laptop, and I was like, it was like the worst thing ever, but it worked out. It did not die. Okay. Oh. I know. How many did I do?
Just 5, and rank them